Lovely and warm, and a lovely insight into yourself from Billy. And you were just saying, Jack, that you grew up with Billy, really, didn't you?
Yeah, well, I first heard a Billy Connolly album when I was 20, and I couldn't believe this quality of humour, which is right out of the shipyards, because I had been listening to Bob Monkhouse, and God bless you, Bob, if you're up there. I don't mean you any harm, but do you understand that sort of stand-up comedy, a gag a time, and Billy just, he's an astonishing observer of just the tiniest things in life, you know, and it just makes him. Well, we will never see his like again of that, I'm sure.
And Jack, this opportunity came to you at a time that, well, it wasn't the best time for you, was it? Because you'd had this injury with your shoulder.
I dislocated my shoulder, and because I haven't had any problems with my body before, I just thought it would heal itself. You know, I didn't think it needed physio or anything. No. And time went on, and it just wasn't working, and I got this call from the BBC saying, look, you know, we'd like to commission you to do a portrait. Yeah. And I thought, this has to be done.
Had you been doing much painting then?
No, I hadn't been. And then I had a physio session one morning, and after the physio left, I thought, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it now. So I always do a small study. So I did the small study, and I thought, you haven't lost it.
Oh, good for you.
Well,
thank goodness.
No, we saw the finished article. You know, we saw it in the film. It's behind you there, actually.
Yeah.
But you did look quite nervous, you know, at the end when Billy came to see it. I mean, what was that experience like then? How were you feeling?
Well, I rarely paint portraits, So therefore, what I do paint, I put it up on a wall and it's for sale, and you like it or you don't like it. But when it's a portrait, it's an entirely different thing. You are desperate that the sitter loves it, you know.
I can imagine.
And I won't say too much, but nerves did play a big part that day.
Oh, Jack. Well, I mean, all the paintings that you have, I mean, they're so iconic, the images. So going back to the beginning, where did your love of painting come from? And were you from a family of artists?
Well, my grandfather, my Italian grandfather, he used to love betting the horses. And in those days, it wasn't computerised. You used to go in and get a small white sheet of paper and you put your horses on it, and that was it. He used to bring stacks of them back to me, and I used to run off a bloody drawing every 10 seconds, you know. Right. So I learned how to speed up a bit.
Right.
And then it kind of lapsed a bit, and then when I was 22, a girl bought me a box of watercolours and I started to paint, but not too seriously. And I think what the amateur artist, as I was, has to do is they have to do something that gives them a quick result. So I didn't have any ideas of my own. So I used to copy, and you name them, and I've copied them.
Right.
And it's a bit like alchemy, where you pick up things from Monet and Degas and Caravaggio, and you put them all in a pot and stir it. And what comes out is me.
Jack Vettriano.
Well, you said it. And I then had to find a style that was recognisably mine.
But they are so recognisably yours now. That's the amazing thing, especially the singing butler. I mean, I had it at uni, you know, it was up on my wall, and it's the most...
I would have signed it for you if I'd known.
Oh, it would have been worth so much, Jack. I wouldn't have had to be here at all.
Yeah, but you would have put it straight on eBay.
No. But, you know, it's the most popular print, isn't it? That's bought in the world.
They tell me that.
Why do you think it's so successful?
Yeah, why?
Well, my view is quite simplistic, is that it's just a fantasy. I mean, if you're living in Grimsby and it's a cold, wet Tuesday afternoon, and that's on your wall, you might be carried away with it. You might think, oh dear. But I've had several film scripts sent to me about the singing butler. 2, I can tell you, were quite reasonable. The third one, the butler is a sex maniac let loose, so we can't discuss that, I'm afraid. But
well, what we can do is we can talk about your wonderful piece of work, which is now being put onto a wall in Glasgow,
we
can't
can.
we? Yeah.
So we're going to see now if our Connolly camp in Glasgow has made it to mural number 3, your mural. The location is suited to the water background of Jack's painting, as it's on the building facing the River Clyde, you see.
There you go. Now, the owner of the building at the Hootenanny pub was so keen to have Jack's painting on the wall that he actually bought the adjacent plot of land and then he's turned it into a beer garden.
That's commitment,
for
isn't
the
it?
pub. Look at that. And the locals are calling it Billy's Beer Garden, Jack.
Well, I just hope they give me free life membership to that beer
Don't have to worry about that.
I think it's a definite.
Yeah,
You're in.
yeah,
You're
yeah,
in,
yeah,
Jack.
yeah.
It's lovely to meet you.
You too.
Thank
you
you
too.
so
And
much.
thanks
Have a
very
round
much
of
for
applause,
that.
Jack.